Hello, I'm Aifel of Lorlin. Let's talk more about Maestro. Let's talk about section editing this time. And we can see we have put a load of H's on this track, power guitar. So you will notice that some different velocities on the notes here put into the MIDI file. And I might think that these four peaks there, this one, this one, this one, and this one, should actually be lower than the rest. So how do I do that? Well, I press this S here for section editor. And then I say, okay, I choose it doesn't matter which one. I choose a random line. Since this is sort of in the start of the song, I have a tendency to pick one of the starting lines here. So I can pick the third line down. So it says from bar and to bar. So that's the area I want to affect, and I start with that. So what I want to do is count bars, and bars are these white lines that is the vertical gray lines that is in on the track. What it does is it uses the MIDI bars, or it's also called measures. It's the same word, same thing. So the MIDI bars, which start from here with 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Because you see, if I press stop here and press play, then you can see the bars here in the bottom right corner. It says 1 out of 125. So it's at the first bar here, and that's because I have ABC preview on. And in ABC preview, it starts here because I have in tools and options enabled a setting that says remove silence from start of exported ABC. And that means that the MIDI bars don't match up with the ABC preview bars. So if I click on original, you'll see now it says 6 out of 131. So if I go in here again, I just want to mark where it is. I want to start here with 16 and go to 29. So I write 16, I write 29, I enable it and click apply. And there you can see I have marked the area I want to do something with. Be very careful when I say area you want to do something with. It's gonna affect all the notes that are in this area, but that starts in this area. So if we have a long note that starts here and goes to here, then it will be affected by it because it starts inside the green. If it has started before the green and go into the green, it would not be affected. It's whatever note starts in the area you designate here. So what we're gonna mess with now is the volume. And this volume is not the Lotto volume, it's not the ABC volume, it's the MIDI volume. And MIDI volume goes from 0 to 127. So let's start out with half. Let's write -50. Click apply, and then it's kind of tedious to close this editor all the time and then go in and check what are the volumes. So there's a button here. I just hold the mouse, press the mouse on this button and hold it down, and then I can see the volume. So you can see it's already lowered. Let's lower it some more. 65. Apply, show volume. Yeah, that's more like it. But let's go with 80. So now you can see now I have reduced those four chords to a lower volume. And if I now start to mess with the slider here, they will be relative to that. So the volume change will still apply. So the way this works is the MIDI velocity, the volumes for the notes in the MIDI have also from 0 to 127, and then it's gonna apply the section editor you just edited to that. It's just gonna add on top of it or subtract from it, and then it's gonna apply whatever the slider do, and then it's gonna translate it into APC volumes. And because of this slider and the way this slider works, and there's sometimes this slider has many stops on its way from left to right, and sometimes not so many, depending on how many different dynamics there is in the track. I have decided to make the adjustment here in MIDI volume instead of in Lotro volume, which would make it jump around a bit sometimes. So now we have those a little less volume, and then we'll see if we make another loop of ages or another harp and we put it on the same track, you will see that there's no green now. So this is not affected by this. We didn't change the MIDI track, we changed the ABC part on that MIDI track. So be very careful of that, and be careful about if you have selection on another part here, that you don't forget, oh, this looks alright, and then you forget that you have actually done some section editing in here, because you cannot see the green when it's not selected. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So you can do a lot of stuff with this section editor, and we'll get back to that in other videos. And you can see here at the top it will say it's for Lute of Ages on track 9. And I recommend you read all these comments that's written down here, and if you hold mouse over the different fields, they also all have comments, and it all helps to explain what everything does. But I will also explain at least most of it in the coming videos. So that's enough for this video. See you in the next.